Okay, so dear Dhamma practitioners, this is our ongoing meditation session. And be comfortable yourself and relax your body. So once we get connected with our other students, we ready to start the session for today. Okay, so dear Dhamma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. And keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. Okay, so dear Dhamma practitioners, in these ongoing meditation sessions, we are trying to share some basic information related to meditation and how we can develop our practice, and at the same time, out of this practice, what we can gain the best. So when it comes to this Buddhist meditation practice, it is little bit different than the other methods. So first we have to understand that it's all meditation not going to be the same. So what is the difference here? It's about bringing the clarity to your own mind and get out all the unnecessary information, so the cankers or the mental formations or memories or many kind of thoughts, patterns, viewpoints, to get out that all from the mind and make the mind very clear from the bottom of life, from the beginning. So that should be the foundation. That is what we call the tranquility mind. So once the mind tranquilizes, from there, you are capable to analyze more deeply. But if the mind with full of dust, what you analyze may not going to become accurate. So then it is very important yourself to have the introspection and have the inner clarity with practice little bit. So when it comes to that, already what we have in our mind, in a certain level, we have to let go, we have to purify. So that is a kind of like a base, the foundation for the practice. So that's why with this condition of the mind, we can't develop any kind of another thinking pattern. So the first thing, we have to get out of the thinking pattern and allow the mind to be the mind. So that's where we get the primary mental object and settle down with the object rather than doing things the way we want. So tranquility meditation should base with that. As our primary mental object, we take our own observing inhalation, exhalation. So once you settle down with that, rather than manipulating, rather than creating, or rather than doing things the way you want, and observing deeply and understanding how this body and mind, the breathing interconnected, and how this each and everything arising and falling each other. What is the cause and effect? What is the connection? So that understanding will give you a kind of like a basic foundation for you to recognize the nature of the world. So remember, when it comes to Buddha's teaching, the main purpose of this all, not to have miracles, not to have the kind of like a supernatural powers, not to have psychic powers. The best wisdom that you can gain as a human being through this practice is understanding the fundamental truth about the world as it is. That is the best. Understanding the fundamental truth about the world as it is. So for that, training our mind is a skill. So when it comes to meditation, remember yourself, the practicing meditation doesn't mean here just sitting and closing your eyes and observing inhalation, exhalation. It is a one part. In day-to-day life, with our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, whatever the perception we perceive, in each and every moment, you have to have certain kind of awareness within yourself to understand what is profitable, what is unprofitable, and to see the very deeper intention within yourself. And once you have that ability, remember yourself, you're going to change a lot of things in your life. So somehow, in day-to-day life, when it comes to practice ourselves, there are certain things that you have to master within you. So emotionally, intellectually, academically, there are certain things, culturally, socially, there are certain things that you have to bring to yourself and hold it as the truth in the world. So when it comes to that, remember the mechanism of the mind, mechanism of the teachings, mechanism of the Buddhism is not you put something to the world, but recognizing the nature of the world, but still you perform the best according to your ability. Rather than depending from the outcome, knowingly the worldly nature, still you are the one who performing with the great compassion, empathy, loving kindness, with the generous heart. You are the one who doing the best. So when it comes to the fundamental nature of the world, in day-to-day life, always you have to remember the very first thing to understand, this everything change. That everything change in the outside world, everything change within ourselves. Nothing going to be permanent. It is very difficult to understand. Because we do a lot of things believing sometimes that what we do is going to be permanent. It's kind of like even that the kind of like we do the good things. Sometimes we believe, we hold the idea, we have a view that goodness that we do, other people will recognize as goodness, and then everybody will appreciate it, and it's going to be there as a goodness. But sometimes that what you mean by goodness may be not going to happen to another person. And things change by the time. So we have to appreciate that change. Because of that change, we are here like this. So maybe whatever the good things, maybe whatever the bad things, maybe whatever the negative things, maybe whatever the positive things, darkness or the light, that everything, we all go through the change. In the summertime, it is very hot, and the winter time, it is cold. The wind come and the wind go. So we have to understand that change and appreciate that whatever it is, rather than resisting, rather than putting our opinion on it, rather than struggling with it, just accept it. But at the same time, while you accept it, and yourself, when you do something, you have to do your best. So that is very hard for us, because we always try to do things depending on the outcome. So here introspection here means your responsibility. You are the one who going to be clear within yourself. You are the one who bringing the clarity to yourself, not to the world. But most of time, we are struggling with the world. Understand the nature of the world and understand the nature of the even 5 aggregates: form, feeling, perception, volition, recognition. That also moment by moment change, and even the outside things change. So knowingly that change, so whatever you do your best. Even just imagine in day-to-day life, your husband, your wife, your children, your parents, brothers, sisters, friends and family members, you do things, maybe sometimes in your mind, you have a little bit, back in your mind, maybe you have a little bit kind of like idea, this person will be kind of like same. No, that person may change tomorrow. It's okay. That person cannot be the same. So then when you're going to do something, just imagine, knowingly that person may change in the future, but still you do your best is very hard. Very difficult. So then always remember, that's why understanding the fundamental truth about the world and still you do your best is something. It's a very beautiful practice. It's very hard, Everybody cannot do it. You have to, it has to done by your choice. You can't do it because of by force. You can't do it because of somebody else. No, it need to come through deeper understanding. It make you free from things. It take you out of the heaviness that you carry. Because our hopes makes us heavy, the life heavy. So once you know this, everything change. And but still, you do your best for the moment, without any greed, hatred, or the delusion. With the great compassion, empathy, loving kindness, generosity, and the wisdom will help you to have fulfilled this journey without any barriers, hindrance on the way. So the first one, everything will change. Everything change. And the next one is the everything, somehow there's no 100% satisfaction. Nothing will give you 100% satisfaction. Everywhere somehow something going to be related to suffering. So, but still, when it comes to yourself, when you do something, you do it knowingly, you are accept that unsatisfaction, you are accept that suffering. It's very hard, very difficult. You have to have a very strong mind to do that. Otherwise, sometimes we always struggle with the idea of satisfaction. Look at this, most of things, this most of the kind of like ideas. What is whatever the good or bad or the satisfaction or unsatisfaction. So those are most of time it's ideas. So this idea, if you have the introspection deeply, you're not depending on that idea, but still you are capable to give your best. See that without depending from the world, the outcome, even though you know that whatever that you sacrifice, that everything going to make you kind of like take you to some kind of suffering, but still you okay with that. Yourself, you are going to do your best. Rather than trying to change that this unsatisfactory world, rather than trying to change the suffering. So a lot of people try to overcome the suffering, struggling with this outside world, struggling with this material world, but it's not going to happen. A lot of people try to overcome suffering, struggling with this physical body, rather than mentally accepting. So then always remember yourself. So the first one is the change, knowingly the change. You still do your best. That's why you practice. That with that you practice. And knowingly that everything somewhere, somehow, that suffering, still you do your best. And the other thing is selflessness. So when it comes to that selflessness, one way to understand it, there is no inherent, unchangeable, fundamental, structure of anything, that is one thing. And even there is nothing that we call I am. Or another thing is that what you experience, listen this very carefully. What you experience and what things appear to you is not really happening there. That also belong to this anatta or the selflessness. So what you experience, whatever appear to you as something is not there. So, but knowingly that still yourself, you do your best with the compassion, loving kindness, empathy, generosity, wisdom. So that is where you slowly get out of the deeper attachment. Otherwise, if you believe that what you experience is there, you have hopes, you believe, and then you have future plans, and then by the time when you recognize it is not there, you get disappointed. So then always remember, these three natures belong to the world. Those are the very fundamental truth about the world. That when it comes to the world, the outside world, and at the same time, inside world. So the outside world means this all the material, and the inside world means our five aggregates. So three natures. One is the change. It equal to everything. It's not going to do favor to anything. And sometimes we celebrate certain kind of change, but not all the change. See, sometimes we celebrate birthdays, but when somebody die, we don't like it. So if you know, if people don't die, you have no chance to celebrate birthdays. And you celebrate anniversaries, you do parties, dancing, but when somebody die, you don't like it. See that how we kind of like a head massage ourselves. We manipulate the truth ourselves. But it's not going to happen like that. It's not going to do any favor to anybody. It's nothing wrong that you celebrate the birthday, then celebrate the death also. Why you worry about it? Nothing wrong that you celebrate the anniversary, celebrate the separation also. Why you can't separate that? So, celebrate all the change. And the next is the unsatisfactory. The unsatisfaction brings us a lot of things to the world. People move forward, people do everything because of this unsatisfactory nature. And see, this is struggle. Without a struggle, nothing going to happen to us. If this body, if we don't struggle, if there is no harder resistance, this body is not going to grow like this. So when people go to gym and when they're lifting weight, and what they does, put some extra more weight and try to push it. So they create some kind of resistance and they build themselves. When the people go to this track and field, and when they're swimming, so how they become faster, they build up the strength to go against the resistance. But when it comes to ourselves, our day-to-day life in our mind, when things happen to us, We don't want to take it as a kind of like a method to grow ourselves. We try to hate it. We try to fight with it. No, take that opportunity to grow yourself. And then always remember, in the world, within ourselves, within around, that what we experience, it's only here. It's not outside. And even that here is not something kind of like a belong to, kind of like a permanent self. It's all depend on according to the cause and effect. So know this fundamental truth and train yourself and accept it and understand it and be with it without get panic, disappointed, without getting unhappy, accepting this truth, but still you do your best. So when it comes to that, that's going to become one of the highest way to master yourself, uplift your practice, and develop your mind. So I hope you understand this and try to apply it to day-to-day life and get these lessons to yourself and apply it to your life and try to experience it in your day-to-day life. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit now. So your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line and be comfortable with your posture. So bring your attention to your body and scan head to toes yourself and say Sopateva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable, may my breath be more smooth, may no difficulties come to me, may all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation and exhalation. So in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe in, breathe out 3 times. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen as it is. Be aware about it. Do nothing extra. Bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also as far as you can through galaxies, other planets, the stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside. To your left side. And to your right side. Downward. And upward. To all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy, without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. Also, by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata cammehi sampadang punya sampadang sabbe devanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhutanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya imaya dhammanu dhamma patipattiya buddhang pujemi dhammang pujemi sanghang pujemi Addaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadi maranam ha paribunjisami. Idam me punya kammang asavakkaya vang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.